Once upon a time, in a quiet cottage at the edge of a village, there lived a kind woman who longed to have a child of her own. One day, she visited a wise old witch and asked for help. The witch gave her a magical barley corn seed. "Plant this in a flower pot," she said with a wink, "and wait." The woman planted the seed carefully. Soon, a beautiful flower bloomed, and when the petals opened, there sat a tiny girl, no bigger than a thumb. The woman gasped with joy. "I'll call you Thumbelina," she whispered lovingly. Thumbelina was cheerful and kind. She slept in a walnut shell, floated on a lily pad in a bowl of water, and sang songs that made even the birds stop and listen. But one night, as Thumbelina lay sleeping in her walnut shell bed, a warty old toad crept through the window. "A perfect bride for my son," the toad croaked. She scooped Thumbelina up and leaped away to the riverbank, placing her on a lily pad in the middle of the stream. When Thumbelina woke up, she was frightened and alone. "Oh no, I don't want to marry a toad," she cried. Just then, some fish heard her and nibbled at the stem of the lily pad. Snip, snap. The pad floated free and drifted down the stream, carrying Thumbelina far away. As she floated past flowers and trees, a kind butterfly fluttered down and helped pull her faster along the current. But the peace didn't last long. A big shiny beetle swooped down and plucked her right off the lily pad. "You'll make a fine guest," he buzzed, bringing her high into a tree. But the other beetles weren't so kind. "She has no wings. She's not shiny like us," they said. Embarrassed, the beetle let her go, and Thumbelina was left all alone in the woods. She built herself a bed of petals and drank dew from morning leaves. Summer turned to autumn, and then came winter. Thumbelina had no warm clothes or shelter. One day, shivering in the cold, she found a tunnel under a tree root. It was the home of a kind field mouse who took her in and gave her food and warmth. "You can stay all winter," said the mouse kindly, "but you must meet my neighbor, Mr. Mole. He's rich and clever. You should marry him." Thumbelina didn't want to marry the gloomy mole, who lived underground and hated the sun. But to be polite, she agreed to meet him. As they walked through his tunnel, Thumbelina saw a poor swallow lying still in the dirt. Its wing was hurt, and it was cold. That night, Thumbelina snuck back with a blanket and a drop of water. She stayed by the swallow all winter, caring for him until spring. The bird recovered, and just before flying away, he chirped, "If ever you need help, dear Thumbelina, just call me." Spring came. The field mouse reminded Thumbelina, "The wedding to Mr. Mole is soon." Thumbelina felt trapped. She didn't want to live in the dark forever. On the day of the wedding, Thumbelina stepped outside one last time to say goodbye to the sun and flowers. Suddenly, whoosh, the swallow appeared from the sky. "Come with me," he called, "to warm lands where flowers bloom all year long." Thumbelina climbed onto his back, and they soared into the sky. Over mountains, seas, and forests they flew until they reached a land full of blossoms, sunshine, and music. There, in a garden of tulips, Thumbelina met a tiny prince just her size, with shimmering wings. He ruled over the flower folk and was amazed by her kindness and courage. "Will you be my queen?" he asked with a smile. Thumbelina nodded, her heart full of joy. The prince gave her a pair of delicate wings, and from then on, Thumbelina flew happily among the flowers, free and loved, exactly where she belonged. And the swallow, he visited her every spring, singing songs of far-off places and brave little girls. The end.